Of course, here we sit in Hampton Court, where you did shoot part of the movie. It must be interesting to be in a place with such history, as we sit in Cardinal Wolsey's chamber, or whatever it is. How was it to be here for that part of it?
It was nice. I think it's always nice when to have a bit of the culture that you're trying to express in the movie. To live with it, to live in it. I did a movie called Valkyrie where I shot that in Berlin. It was invaluable.
A great movie. I love that movie.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And so to be here, it was transportive for the crew and for the cast and for everyone. And then obviously we built on stages and we extended and visual effects. But it was nice to have it grounded in a real place with that history.
Yeah, you can sort of smell the history.
Oh, I know.
Well, literally, but you could also sense it. I mean, there's just just walk into a place like this, and there's just something about it.
And there's an actor who plays Henry VIII who wanders around, and we actually had part of the palace was open while we were shooting, so we actually had classrooms of kids coming watching us shoot. Yeah. So it must have been fun for them because usually it doesn't have all this stuff here.
Exactly. No, that was a lot of fun, and to see all the big props and all that kind of thing makes it a lot of fun for everybody. When you look at you make a film, obviously you're appealing to an audience, and and if you're talking to the audience and saying what you hope they this is a fun and adventure and it's entertainment, but what do you hope they kind of get out of this in the sense of when they after they've seen the movie?
I just hope they have a really good time. This film is meant to be purely transportive, purely an adventure, a lot of fun, and a little bit of a comment, I guess, on storytelling in general. The tales you tell your kids over the years, over the centuries, how those tales change, what's real, what's not, what's steeped in reality.
One of the things I loved is the way you start out with the reading of the story, both by the queen to the princess, and of course by the father to the child.
That idea came late. That actually we shot more recently. I went to New Zealand and actually used some of Peter Jackson's equipment and stages while he was having off time from Hobbit, and I actually did that more recently. It was just an idea that we had a little later on. So I'm happy with it, though.
No, I thought it was a lovely way to set things up. When you look back on this, I'm sure every day on a set there's things that either go wrong or the weather doesn't cooperate or whatever.
Welcome to England.
Welcome to England is right. Is there anything that's sort of humorous or funny or something when you think back on making this movie, you're like, oh, I'll never forget this day, or a stunt or something?
Well, it was the fact that two of my actors, Stanley Tucci does not like heights. And Ewan McGregor does not like being in confined spaces. So what do? I put Stanley on a beanstalk and the edge of a cliff at Cheddar Gorge, weeks at a time, and put poor Ewan in a dough for a whole couple of days. And then had them hang. So that was challenging, but ultimately worked out. And sheep don't go in water. Discovered that. So getting the sheep to go in the water was a problem. A lot of just all those things.
Those are fun. Well, that's the fun part of making a film. You never
directing
know.
Cats. It's my third time directing a cat.
Oh, that's right.
And cats do the opposite of what you want them to do at all times. Right. So those are the little challenges.
Oh, it's great. Well, it's all came together very nicely. And yes, I got a big kick out of seeing you and as a burrito. I mean, that was fun. But no, seriously, congratulations.
Thank you
so much. It's a lovely film. It's a lot of fun, and I know audiences are really going to enjoy it.